One afternoon, Thomas and Percy were at the yards being mended over. They unfortunately had no work to do, but they didn't mind. Whew, huffed Percy. You know, on a day like this, I'd rather spend my day in the sheds than messing around with those silly, disrespectful cars. That and hopefully this time, said Thomas, no more cleaners will mess around with our controls. Thomas shuddered. He remembered that a careless cleaner had fiddled around with his controls. And on top of that, he ended up coming to breakfast. Thomas was glad when he heard a familiar whistle. And Henry puffed in. He had to stop for a red signal. Hello there, you two, he puffed happily. Must be surprised seeing me in charge of the express for once. Gordon has taken ill, and it's such a joy hearing the passengers sing my praises. Thomas and Percy were proud for their friend Henry. Well, I must be off. The passengers won't get to the station themselves. And he puffed happily away. He was in a great hurry, Percy said to Thomas. Thomas then sighed. One time, Gordon laughed at me when I suggested I could pull the express again. He was feeling unwell, and I suggested him. We tank engines never get ill too soon. But the very next day, Henry was asked to pull the flying kipper again. And so Sir Topham Hatt was out of options. Gordon's at the works, and Henry is due for kipper runs. James is with Edward on his branch line. So the other option is... Duck, interrupted the station master. Yes, said Sir Topham Hatt, but he can't manage the express alone. Could Percy help? Asked the station master. He won't help either, unless... Thomas could maybe help too. I'll send the three here at once. When Thomas arrived at the station, he was surprised. There were passengers here and passengers there. Worst of all, there were extra coaches added. Thomas winced, but was soon relieved when he saw Duck back onto him, along with Percy. This train already seems a bit heavy, he worried. Don't worry, Percy, assured Duck. For the three of us, we can easily make it to the next station Sir Topham told us to stop at. Percy soon found confidence again. Soon everyone was on board, and the guard blew his whistle. Let's get moving, whistled Thomas proudly. Come on, huffed Duck. We're doing it, squeaked Percy as they began to pull out of the station. With every ounce of steam they had, the train managed to slowly crawl out of the station. Don't pace yourself, Thomas, comforted his driver. We've plenty of time. Thomas nodded assuringly. They were soon on the main line, puffing with all their might. Unlike Edward's or Thomas's branch line, the express didn't stop at all stations, much to Percy but Thomas's dismay. We might have to stop for water soon, Percy said worriedly. I'm almost low. Rubbish, sniffed Thomas. We've plenty of time. Now hurry, he whooshed. Beg pardon, Thomas, said Duck, but you're not Gordon. Gordon only says that. And he and Percy laughed, which made Thomas quite annoyed. They rushed by the other engines, who were at a loss of words. Then came their biggest problem. They approached Gordon's Hill. "We'll need more speed," cried Thomas, "so hop to it." The three little engines gave it their best shot. But all of a sudden, Percy whistled an alarm, and the train stopped. "What's the matter now?" huffed Thomas indignantly. "That's done it," said Percy's driver. "That run up that hill has worn you out. We can't take you off here. We must get the passengers to the station on time. Duck, Thomas, do you think you can take the train along the way with Percy short of steam?" "We'll do our best," said Duck. Thomas groaned in agreement. With Percy not able to help, Thomas and Duck struggled with the heavy train together. They were nearing the last station when Duck found he could no longer move his wheels. "I can't go any further," he called to Thomas. Thomas couldn't either, and so, running out of puff, the train came to a sudden halt. Watching them from the yards was none other than Gordon. He stared in amazement. Thinking quickly, he shunted the three tank engines onto a siding, while Boko took the train further on. "You three worked hard enough for a triple-header." Sir Topham Hatt congratulated the three tank engines. He had been on the train the entire time. "Even though you couldn't make it to the station," he said, "you still tried, and that's why I'm proud of you three." Percy, Duck, and Thomas were proud, but Percy sighed, exhausted. "I still hope I can get to the next water tower on time." Gordon chuckled and winked at Thomas. Thomas smiled. For the first time, he felt that Gordon truly did respect him.